Hello, are you out there? I'm Mark with Homebrew Fever Dreams, and we've got Storm King's Cluster Fudge. Cluster Funk? Long Post, Part 1. This is coming from our adventurous pirate. TLDR at the bottom, sorry in advance. Tags for the module, Storm King's Thunder spoilers, and potential content / trigger warning for torture if some are sensitive to it. Hey, it's enhanced murder. Yeah, there you go. As the title suggests, this story remains the most awful, unenjoyable, and frankly, in D&D and DM terms, for me, traumatizing for the ridiculousness these players resorted to in-game. Full disclosure, I hold nothing against the players that stand as the main characters of our unfortunate little epic, only that their actions stand out to me as clearly now as back then because, well, you'll see why. For context, I, as an active DM for the last decade and a half, have had my fair share of unpleasant experiences, players, incidents, even bad rulings on my part that I would go on to later regret. This story contains a bit of all three, and I am by no means innocent. To preface it all, if you're having an issue, whether it be with DM or with player, conversation is the best way to deal with it. Don't let it build, don't let it fester, and absolutely do not hold a grudge. D&D is meant for fun and enjoyment, not pettiness. That being said, Part 1. Promising beginnings. Separating for ease of use to read on YouTube. Thank you. As the mod stated, he likes long narratives. I figured I'd use my actual writing talent to weave a sufficiently cinematic and as well written one as I can, sort of as a way to say thank you for reading. My style obviously wouldn't be for everyone on here who might just be looking for a quick read, not lengthy mini novels. But the guy who invited me to write here gave me hope of being able to reach out to a community again. That's right, because subreddits can be ruthless, but here we're just gonna take it with a grain of salt. Have a good time. That's all that's meant by any of this. I only hope that you and he enjoy them. Our saga begins in my favorite module of all time, Storm King's Thunder. I've never played it. I'd like to check it out. Spoilers for that specific module are included, so be warned, folks. Now, why is it my favorite? Because it was the campaign I ran with my wife and two of our later best friends who would go on to become active players, GMs in various games for the last 4 years or so. The epic times we had in it stand the test of time as some of the most epic I've ever seen, have gone on to inspire much of the new novel universe I'm building in many and small ways. Maybe I'll share stories of them with you sometime later, or reverse horror story. In this game, I am attempting to replicate that, but with a new cast. Add my own twist on the modules, as if already affected by the echoes of the first campaign's actions. Sorry to ramble. I begin. Our cast. Me, the not-so-omniscient DM. Monk, a wood elf were-tiger, monk blood hunter, one of two new players in my long-term D&D group that I was attempting to get to know better. Magnus Necro, a clockwork storm mage / later replaced by an undead necromancer, the other of the two new players, lover of homebrew or third-party content. Replaced due to death of the original character? ? And the problem players. Oh, I've got 3 of them. Cleric, a human / maybe half-elf, high half-elf ? Cleric of the third-party goddess of healing, mercy, and redemption. She got Firebolt as a cantrip because of her bloodline. This will become important. Nun, half-orc zealot barbarian, later reclassed as an ancient oaths paladin, played using an anime. It's alright. It's more common than you think. Played using an anime girl nun character portrait, hence the name, and how he played the character. Fighter, a reclusive hermit to the point of knowing nothing about any race, main city, or lore, etc. Human fighter and the edgiest character I've ever met. Why is he edgy? You'll see. His name is John Smith. Just human, fighter, no variant. It's very, very basic. Very edgy. We begin as our intrepid 5 arrive in the town of Nightstone, following the attack by cloud giants and currently being raided by goblins, quickly taking stock of the situation. Each character quickly defined themselves in pretty iconic ways in how they would deal with the absolutely overwhelming number of goblins in that town. Seriously though, level 1 of SDK is brutal. Monk scouted around the town, finishing off or ambushing spare dudes with goblins to reduce their numbers. Magus fought alongside the barbarian and very, very nearly got reduced to spare parts fighting the wargs in the center of town. Yeah, wargs will tear you apart. Pack tactics, right? Nun almost got dropped by the wargs, but definitely did their job in tanking damage and dealing it back. Nice. Like all nuns do. Cleric, mostly, if at all possible, avoiding trying to kill enemies, even using persuasion to convince a goblin not to attack her. It's in character. It was very well done roleplay, and I was very impressed by her playing her alignment / goddess so accurately, even when the dice rolls weren't in her favor. That's a good role player. Takes the good with the bad. It's all play. Fighter decided to climb a building to take out a goblin archer's base there using his pike, bow, and making sure his choice of armor, ringmail, not chainmail, augmented with a frying pan for a chest piece was well known. A little quirky, but I could work with it. That's character. I like it. After they finished routing the goblins, they decided to investigate the rest of the town, finding out about the then unknown Zentarum agent hiding in the tavern at the center of town. Unsure about said agent's motives, thanks to good and bad insight checks, they decided to take her along as she makes it clear that survivors may be holed up in the damaged and stranded keep. When they arrive, they find the remaining guardsmen mourning their fallen lady. Doing a bit of investigating of the keep, they find out that animated sword upstairs, and instead of trying to fight it, trick it into embedding itself in the floor before slamming it closed and leaving it well alone. That's big brain. I always appreciate when players take the idea of not every combat needs to be narratively fought, and was really excited about how the group was going. We end that session and this post on a high, with the sudden dust cloud rapidly approaching the town, and the capture of a mysterious, oversized, and one-eyed goblin attempting to climb the battlements. His first words to them, in a thick Brooklyn accent. "Howdy, name's Mitch. You won't have heard of me unless I've heard of you. I think you and I can help each other out. TLDR, it's going good so far. Drama starts soon. I'll write part 2 if you like this first parter. Thanks." Let's post it, OP. Let's see what happens. I don't know if that was a Brooklyn accent. I've never been to the East Coast. Okay. Take care. We'll see about part 2. Thanks.